Hello again, guys. Welcome back to another video. I am on a grind, and when I get into a grind, I'm just in this flow state where I can just keep going, and that's what I've learned about my ADHD, is that I'm able to harness it and use it as what it should be considered more as, and that's a superpower, because at the end of the day, ADHD is a heightened cognitive state. Your brain is working more efficiently than the average person. So the difference between ADHD and an average person's mind is that the person with ADHD, their mind is wired to be running more efficiently. So I love cars, so I'm gonna use car analogy. Basically, let's say you've got this tiny little chassis. Chassis means the structure of the car. So the outside kind of shape of the exterior of the car. So let's say there was just a normal car, normal working car. All of its parts are readily maintained and working efficiently. But a person with ADHD, they have this this massive engine. No. Okay, no. So they have the exact same engine, right? As the person with as the average car, the average brain is what I'm referring to. But lots of people didn't know this about cars, because cars are oppressed by society, so people see them as a tool, not an object. And an object can mean more to you than you could ever imagine. And I've learned that since I bought my first car. Had the money saved up, and bought it when I was 15. Even I had the money when I was 15. And in Australia, you don't get your L's till you're 16, and then when you're 16, you what's it called? You have to stay on the L's for a year before you move to your provisionals, so where you can be without a parent in the car. But in Australia, the Australian government is oppressing creativity and broadening people's minds. So and to do that, they have a rule that P-platers are not allowed to, what's it called, to drive at night between, I think it's 4 a.m. and 11 p.m. They're not allowed to drive at that time with more than, what's it called? More than two people in the car in total. So what this is doing is teaching children to because okay, at the end of the day, we are the new generation. We are the millennials, and we hold the potential to be the smartest people in the world, because evolution works by people slowly becoming and turning into something else. That's why there's a theory that we evolved from apes, and sadly it can only ever be a theory, because there is absolutely no way to possibly get any evidence that I could possibly imagine, at least, that we were like chimps and cavemen, or whatever you want to call them, in the time at the start. So philosophy really interests me, and I want to understand how the world became to be, because if I understand it, then I will be able to share my perspective on you with my perspective on you, my perspective with you. Yeah. I quickly want to mention that just a little sidebar, that I created a Patreon, and I just wanted to tell you, I'm pretty sure that I put it in my channel, but I think so. But I will do it if I haven't done it at the present moment. So that will be done and sorted. No need to worry about that. So yeah, I started Patreon. I believe that in no way, shape, or form am I endorsing you to give me money. That's not at all what I'm doing. I could never, honestly, I could personally never really ask that of anyone without feeling lots and lots of guilt. That's just how I am. I prefer to give to people, and people feel bad, and they feel bad about what? I don't understand it personally. if someone wanted to give me something because they wanted to, then I would take what they gave me and appreciate it, because they wanted to give it to me. It had some sort of meaning to them. So why don't I take this meaningful piece of material and have a positive mind about it and interpret it in a way that will make me feel good. Another stray off topic, but again, I'm trying to keep these videos as raw as I possibly can. And what was I thinking? I don't know. I just I believe that if people want to support me and what I'm doing, then I personally have no moral problems with that. Because at the end of the day, your Patreon support is just gonna support what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is a movement, and I'm gonna change the world, and you guys are going to be as every bit in this journey as I am, because I believe that for a society to function productively, that they need to be open. And I'm trying to introduce the concept of mindfulness to this millennial generation, because if we start practicing meditation at this young age, when our minds are developing, what could that possibly mean? We have absolutely no idea. But I had that idea, and I'm just trying to put it out there and give something for some people to think about. Sorry, you guys have to also take into consideration that I'm a person just like you, and that is something that that really helped me in forgot what I was saying. Where's the stick? Bit of 7 a.m. stickage can never hurt. Okay, chillin'. But I wanted to just tell you quickly about what I just did then. How I just took like however many seconds, I have no idea how many seconds, that I just didn't say anything. But suspense is important. It's important for people to learn that not everything comes overnight and that things take time. And I just want to tell you that this state of mind, this way that I'm presenting myself to you, has been 16 years of hard work and dedication and not giving up. Because at the end of the day, that's all you got to do. You just got to not give up, and you got to not want to submit to other people, because again, you are here for a reason, and you just got to believe that. And when you believe that that you are here for a reason, then you can start to use your mind, because when your mind is open, you can access it, right? But society in the past was in this structure, because in the past, labor and manual labor was the only way to make work. So the whole work industry and business industry has been built off just pure hard manual work, and that's what the past generations see, because that's how they've been brought up. But we live in a different world. It would be extremely ignorant not to acknowledge that. And we can only change if we want to. And change is inevitable. You cannot escape change. So why be scared about it? Why worry about it? Why not understand it? Why would you do that? Why are you closing your mind? Why are you closing yourself off from understanding things? And it's because of how society has been built, and it's been a long time running, and finally we've established this structure to how we can live as a society, because at the end of the day, everyone on Earth is a community, because they all share living on the same planet. And if we revert community function from being the past to being the future, then we can change the world. And And I'm ready. I'm ready for change, and it's just whether or not other people are too. Because if you guys, the millennial audience is who I'm specifically addressing. If you guys use our knowledge and access to social media to promote my channel and my movement, then we can change the world. It's as simple as that. There just had to be that one person that took a stand. And I've always been a very how do I explain this? I've always been a very I wouldn't say dominant, but I've always been a leader in my life, and that definitely came from my dad's qualities, and I can acknowledge that. But my mum is so charismatic and good with people that I got this incredible balance, and I am so lucky to have it. I'm so lucky for my physique. I am so lucky to be here on this earth in this beautiful place, because it is amazing. The things that we can do, the places that we can see on this world is crazy. And now that society has developed and built a structure for itself, we can start building the new world. And firstly, before I keep speaking, I want to just check that, yeah, okay, am I still recording? If something had happened and I had been talking for like this whole time without, I would have been very, very, very sad that I'd wasted so much time, and then would probably just end up going to bed. By the way, it's like 7:10 right now a.m. I have not slept yet. So I've found in my experience that I'm not a morning person, and by not being a morning person, that means that I don't function well in the morning. I function better at night. My mind works better when it's quiet and when it's peaceful, because all the noise and all the distractions of the daytime just they don't support my mind as I want it to. And school has really impacted me because of that. I've had to wake up so early every single day my whole life, and have been told not to question it because I shouldn't, right? But I want to let you know that after 16 years of struggling with mental health issues, I literally an hour ago or so took a IQ test, just a free IQ test online, and my results were in the 97th percentile of anyone that had done that test. So basically what that means is the average people's minds are at like a certain level, and because I have ADHD, my mind is working more efficiently, so therefore I'm going to have a higher IQ, and yeah, it's a bit crazy because I've felt like a retard my whole life. I apologize if that word means it means something to you that's not how I see it, but at the end of the day, it can be used as a descriptive word if that's what I am intending, and that was my intention, because that's how I felt. I felt like a retard. I felt like I wasn't in my own mind, and I was being I about what, like at 3:30 a.m. One of my mates, Nate, haven't seen him since he dropped out, and I always felt some sort of connection with him, but people in my school, they painted a picture of him that affected how I perceived him, and that changed how I thought of him as a person. But when keeping an open mind, after just speaking to him on the phone for, I think it was about 2.5 hours, he was like, I want to come see your car right now. And I was like, bet. And it's moments like that that you will remember for the rest of your life. And that's all that matters. All that matters is that you have memories and you have experiences that you can take with you to your grave. Because death is not something that you should be afraid of. Death is inevitable. It is going to happen at some point. It happens around you, and that is to show you that not all things can last forever. All good things come to an end, and they're cliches, but they're cliches for a reason. What am I at now? 30 minutes. Wow. It's a new record video. I guess I'm just gonna give you a little bit more information about how I want to get this movement going, and yeah, so give me a second. See, patience is a skill. You need to have patience. If you expect things to come to you at the click of your fingers, then you're in a mind state of entitlement, and you feel like you deserve something, and that you are is it obligized? Obligized to do something? Is that the right word? I don't even know. But obliged. That's it. Obliged. Humans are made to feel dominant and submissed, but it's not in ways that society has created them to be. At the end of the day, we're all here for one reason, and that one reason is to reproduce. That's the specific function of the human. We are supposed to have sex. That's what our lives are about. And that's what they're made to be. And people haven't taken this into consideration, because I guess there's just never been a person like me before that can look at information and just think about it, try and understand what it means to me instead of what it means to everyone else. Because, again, you're here for a reason. You're here to have a lot of sex. Whether it's with one person or with loads of different people throughout your lifetime. It's something that needs to be spoken about more. And people have relationships with one specific person, and some people like to have relationships with other people, and multiple different people, and not be confined to one specific person. And that's okay. Everybody's different. Everybody functions in their own way. And this needs to be always considered. So, if you haven't watched 50 Shades of Grey, I would 10 out of 10 highly recommend that you watch it. That was probably up there. Probably I will say the most inspirational movie that I've ever watched. And that might sound very weird, because you might not have watched 50 Shades of Grey, and you might not understand it, but it's actually a story about the past and how humans used to maintain relationships in the past, because men were built to be the dominants in the human species, and females were meant to be submissed. And that's why there are different problems in the world, like rape and like domestic violence and abuse and all those different things. It's because people get into the wrong relationships with bad people. Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be bad people in the world. It's just how it is. Life is balance. Life is good and bad. Life is succession and failure. Life is being miserable for 16 years and then one day waking up and being a new person. And I'm well ready to change the world and start this movement of initiative and assertiveness of the millennial generation, because we are taught that we need to wait to a certain age to become mature, but we don't need to learn at a certain age. Everyone learns in their own rate, and learning in your own rate has to be taken into account very, very I don't know, just a lot. Just going to talk about this for a second. All right. I learned now, finally, how my mind works, right? And practicing meditation and having a mindful mindset is how I want to live my life. And I'm just spreading my experiences with people in hopes that they might benefit from it. And it really was that simple. It really is right there in front of your eyes the whole time. You just got to trust your gut. But you hear other people telling you to trust your gut, right? You hear an order, right? That's how you understand that. When someone says trust your gut, 3 words, right? We interpret that as an order because it is a short, quick direction, rather than a meaningful conversation, which is how our minds are built. And we should be using our minds to their full potential. And there's so much research saying that only 30% of our brains are used, or I don't know if it's 30%, but something along those lines, that there's only a certain amount of access that we have to our brains, and that's because we don't have open minds, and we never practice mindfulness and harnessing our minds, because you can now that we have technology such as computers, you can think of your mind as a computer, or a car, for example. I always go back to a car because cars mean so much to me, and there is always a way to find personality and humanity in a vehicle. And people are driven by the marketing and the business community to just they're trained to buy one thing and fit in like everybody else, right? But I know every so often when you're driving down the street or walking down the street or whatever, and you hear this loud rumbling sound, you see this vehicle, this car with these bright colors or rims that you've never seen before, crazy thing. That's because people are using an object to express themselves, and that's what objects are there for. They're there for your interpretation and for your subjection. So you can use things however you want. It's just we're taught that you need to do things in a certain way, and yes, some things need to be structured. I believe that structure is very important. I like to have structure in my room. I like to have structure on my PC and my phone, and all the things that I use in my everyday life. I like to have in a structure, because when you have it in a structure, then you know where things are, and you can spend less time thinking and more time being productive and doing, and being mindful. And there are so many benefits to being mindful, and so many extensive realities that our society could be. And now that we've finally been able to get a structured society, now we can start the change. And change is inevitable. So I think that people should stop being scared, and they should start learning to accept change and not be scared of it, so they can handle it better and they can understand it better for themselves. Because at the end of the day, I understand people, and I want other people to be able to as well, because it's very, very lonely. It's been very, very lonely my whole life. I have been living in this heightened cognitive state of mind that I haven't been able to have a proper, meaningful life. Or that's not true. I have had a proper, meaningful life. Just ignore that. It's not what I meant to say. But do I need to talk about? I got no clue. So I guess after all this information, I gotta start bringing it to a point. What I'm trying to do, so you guys understand, because you have to understand that people can't read your thoughts. You have a voice to express your thoughts. That's the only way to think about it. The absolute only way to think about it. And if you use your mind and you learn to turn off your emotions and be productive and get stuff done, then when you get stuff done and when you're productive, you can turn your emotions back on and you can live your life. Because that's why you're here. You're here to have sex and live your life. That's all. That's literally it. But people don't understand that. People think that you have to go to school. You have to get a good job. You have to get a good ATAR. It's all social constructs. It's all stuff that society has shaped our world to be. And society is just in need of change. It's in need of desperate change. I think that society and the government and the structure that we're living in the time that we're living in, is extremely outdated. And with the power of millennials, we can use our community function to be productive. And if we use this community function to be productive, then we can spend however much time you want to spend on your work in a day. You can spend time putting that work in, and then you can turn your emotions back on, and you can just, I don't know, you can turn your emotions back on and just live your life. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you can just turn your emotions on and live your life, and not have to live in the society that we are supposed to. The only other piece of advice that I would like to give you is having a good relationship with your parents, because at the end of the day, it's the most important thing. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, then you're not going to be able to have good relationships with other people in your life, and you're not going to be able to maintain them. And that's the beauty in it. Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. But when we learn to use our minds, and use them how we want to, then we can all begin to start supporting each other, because different people, everyone has different passions, and that's what makes humans such a communal animal species, is that the humans can interact with one another and use their amazing bodies, which are literally gifts, to see the world and experience this amazing planet that we live in. And it would be ignorant not to think that there are other high intelligence species out there, that are just in other solar systems. I feel like solar systems have something to do with time, and solar systems could be a potential window to different realities, and if we learn to expand our minds and explore the furthest that we can explore, then we will we will have an intelligence like no other species. We'll have a mindset like no other species. We'd be different, and we'd be our own society. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I'm done. I don't think I've got anything I really want to talk about anymore. Not that I don't want to keep talking. I guess I've just run out of things to talk about, and that's a good thing. It means that I've got stuff off my mind, and now I'm able to use my mind for the present. And when you take things off your mind, then you can start focusing on yourself. And focusing on yourself is the only way to achieve a high functioning society. So yeah, guess I'm done now. The world really is your oyster. It really is. You just gotta believe it. Take care. Stay safe, and stay positive.